Hey, I'm Dean DeLeo, and I play guitar for Stone Temple Pilots. Come and join us at the Hang. I think this record really gelled lyrically and musically. You know, Scott was really fighting hard and working hard at his sobriety during this record, and I think it shows, man. The Tiny Music thing, you know, we were worlds apart. And where I came from musically, or Robert or Eric, I don't think we were really where Scott was at. So it was a little weird for us. Where this one, we were really very much on that same universe. Yeah, none of us were shocked by the verdict, which came down on Friday the 13th on the 13th floor. Interestingly enough, yeah, none of us were shocked. You know, Scott wasn't either. No, it was really cathartic, man. It's you know, this is what we do, and I can only sit home and crochet so many sweaters. You know what I mean? So it was you know, what else am I going to do? This is my gig, man. So you know. You know, if Scott can't be a part of it, you know, I'll go make records. You know. You know, I really enjoy hearing different artists interpret the Bacharach tunes. You know, the Dusty Springfield stuff, and then how the Carpenters would do stuff. And I'm a big fan of that Bacharach, Hal David stuff. And I'm a tremendous fan for those Stan Getz records. You know, the Oscar Peterson Trio. Barney Kessel. Yeah, I really dig Wes Montgomery stuff, and then, you know, it goes to I really dig what Holdsworth did with IOU, and you know, I occasionally like to listen to the Edith Piaf. You know what I mean? It's just it's stupid, man. We could talk for hours about. We've probably grown as people over the years. And I think by becoming a better person, you might become a better player.
Hey, this is Eric from Stone Temple Pilots, and come see me in The Hang. The very first day of writing rehearsals, we did Down and Church on Tuesday. And Scott was just writing, you know, we just started the riff, and like, oh wow, and the song was basically exactly like it is today. He was just scribbling down lyrics, and then, you know, within 30 minutes we had the song down, and then another 30 minutes later we did Church on Tuesday. And so we knew then, like this is, it's very comical because it just picks up so quickly. So we knew that he was looking at, you know, a year in jail. And so we've already talked about, well, do you want to release the record? You know, how do you feel? Because we've always worked as a democracy. And he was definitely behind releasing it, saying, you know, this is how I feel now, lyrically and emotionally. And to wait would just seem stupid, because he won't feel the same way, and we won't feel the same way about the songs a year from now as we do right now. The chemistry wasn't even close to what it was with Scott. And when he saw us on our tour, when we played in Los Angeles, you know, he was just saying, oh, I see. And then 2-3 months later, he was doing his solo tour with different musicians and calling us and saying, like, this is weird. It's not the same. The making of the record was actually about as smooth as it's been since the first record. Just because with all the time off in between the Tiny Music album, we could really reflect on what it was that we missed about each other so much as a band, and with the chemistry that we all have when we make music together, and how ridiculously easy it is to make music together. At a certain point of getting criticized so much, you grow jaded and you just don't give a shit anymore. So then we put up our defenses and we talk to who we want to, and the label begs us to talk to the people that we don't want to, and says really they won't be such a low side, and then come out with Tiny Music and sell the least amount of records comparative to the other two records, and then suddenly the critics love you, and you're the darlings, and then all your musicians friends love you for the records, and the fans kind of go, sounds different. So it'd be interesting to see what happens now.
Mostly in Scott's lyrics, it really sets the pace or sets the tone of where he's been and where he is in his life. Scott has always had a way of making his lyrics abstract, and I think he's a little more self-explanatory on this record. And I think for the most part, musically and lyrically and just as a band, I think, my main concern on this record was getting us to be focused. I'm just constantly blown away that people still want to, hear about or talk about what we're doing. So hopefully that amount of time, if he's a good boy, he'll be out in February, March. And, hopefully by summer we'll be planning what we should be doing, a tour. I think we all learned, the value of each one in this band. I think it was, looking at what each one of us has to offer. Here we are suddenly making a record with another singer, which at the time, the talk show record, not only were Dean and Eric and myself writing music for that record, we were writing lyrics as well. And that was therapeutic in itself. My influences are totally different from Scott's influences, which are totally different from Dean's influences. But that's what makes for a great band. I always go back to bands, that I admired as far as rock bands. I just put a Queen record on the other day, and, amazing talent between the four people there. And that's, I think we're not trying to, write something new. I don't think anyone is. I think if you can make a contribution to music and make a valid contribution, I think that's the beauty of music. I think we're all, we're all learning. I don't mean to be cynical in any way. I feel like, this band has achieved a lot. But on the other hand, at this point, I feel like, if people could really see what this band could really do, and that might sound really silly, and you are your own worst critic, but, if this band could really see what we could really, if people could really see what this band could really do, as far as being all together 100%. But there's been many, we've gotten a chance to open up for a lot of people and play with a lot of people and write with a lot of people, and, it constantly blows me away.